Well, hello, and let me tell you about my story. So it all started in high school for me. My favorite subject was math, and I loved math, and I did really well in it. And so my mom was a math teacher, and she started writing these math books for high school students, and I helped her. I mostly typed it all in Microsoft Word, but also helped create some exercises and proofread it all. And guess what happens next? These books became wildly popular among students and teachers in Ukraine, where I'm from, and in Russia, and they sold in millions. So my mom is this minor celebrity where people recognize her by her last name, and she has this books, walls devoted to her books in bookstores. So this made a profound impact on me as a teenager. It made me realize the incredible reach education can have on people's lives. But it also set up this really, really high bar for anything I would do next. How could I ever have the same impact in anything I would do? So how can anything top that? So, let's see. Oh, there is no video. That's okay. So there was supposed to be a video of that robot. Well, so I went on studying more math, and then I did my PhD in robotics. So why robotics? Well, I still loved math, but robotics combines mathematics with practical applications. So it's like making math alive. And it turns out that to make robots move, you actually need to use quite abstract notions from mathematics. So you need to use these complex topological spaces, and then the paths for the robots to move is kind of like connecting dots on those spaces. So like in this video, if it was playing, to make the robot's shoulder move or to make her head move, you need to use what's called projective space, or SO3. So the spaces are shown here on the right, and these points seem to be nicely distributed on what looks like a sphere, but they actually live in 9 dimensions. And they live in 9 dimensions on this weird hypersphere that is kind of bent on itself, like a Möbius bend. And just it's more complex than that because it's in 9 dimensions. So these things are very difficult to visualize and sometimes impossible to visualize, and yet they're so practical. So to make a robot head move, you need those spaces, right? So video games do that, animations, computer graphics, robotics, all has to use that space to make robot heads move. So I found this really fascinating to do research in robotics because of this connection between mathematics and practical applications. So what happens next is after I finished my PhD in 2008, I became a teaching professor at the University of Illinois. And then right around that time, another wild thing happened. So in 2012, my husband, Steve LaValle, here in the picture, and I were invited to join this little startup called Oculus VR. So when we joined, there were only 5 people in it, the initial founders. So a very small startup with this grand vision to change the world. Well, most of those thousands of startups out there all claim they will be changing the world. But guess what? Oculus did. So we developed this original Oculus Rift headset, and it ignited the boom of this new economic consumer VR headsets worldwide. So everybody heard of VR at this point, right? And Oculus made it happen. So during my time there, I contributed to head tracking methods and also wrote core mathematical software used in the original Oculus SDK. So once again, I coded some pretty cool math related to those SO3 spaces and projective spaces. But it helped reignite the boom or interest in VR worldwide. So that was wild again. I didn't know how it happened. It just happened. But, I liked math, and that was driving me. So here in this picture, Steve and I, we are signing the posters for the original Oculus backers. And here on this slide, we are together with Palmer Luckey, the founder of Oculus. He was 19 years old at the time when he started Oculus, and he was only 21 years old when he sold Oculus to Facebook for $2 billion. And right now, he's in his early 30s, and his second company, Underreal, is already valued at more than $8 billion. So I bet he has a story to tell too. So after Oculus, I came back to academia even more excited about teaching and education, because after all of these experiences, it seemed that I really can help you, the next generation, our future, to get excited about mathematics, computer science, and technology in general. So there is a growing excitement about virtual reality in both industry and academia. And as companies embrace VR technologies, there is a need to teach virtual reality to university students. So at the University of Oulu, we started two VR courses that are quite popular with our students. Oh, did I forget to show this to you? Here's the video. Oh, I bet it doesn't play again. Maybe there's no way. Okay, so that is a video of one of our students who was so excited about, I apologize for that, who was so excited about our course that he brought his own motion platform and connected it to VR experience to just walk around in his VR course project. So that's really cool. So we are expanding our VR courses with my colleagues, Elmarie Uotila and Paula Alavesa. We're expanding them to FETech, so anybody, not just Oulu students, can register and take it at their own pace and online. So that's really cool. I'm also piloting a version of this VR course directly to a top university in India, IIT Madras right now. That's really exciting. So we also use this cool platform, educational platform developed by Mika Oya, my colleague, to help us reach students everywhere. So that's our goal. We already have thousands of students enrolled in this, and we hope that we can reach out to students in other parts of the world, anywhere in the world, especially in developing parts. So this brings us to here and today. Traditionally, we've seen fewer girls entering the field of tech. In my VR courses, for example, I see only few girls and hundreds of boys year after year. And there is no reason for that. So tech is full of exciting opportunities and fantastic careers waiting for you. So we hope you join us in studying tech, and we can then bring more diversity and inclusion in the future of tech. So I have this slide just to show you that, okay, this is what, if you were to come to my class, this would be one of the lecture slides. And you probably saw cosine sine somewhere in the math already, but maybe you didn't see these brackets for matrices. So these matrices is exactly what makes that animation. So you need to program that to make the computer animate that rotating head. And if you look at the columns, the first column is for x-axis, the second is for y, the third one is for z. And if you're rotating around y is not changing for the second column, but you see cosines and sines in the S and Z columns for rotations. So you'll learn that. And this is a beautiful visual representation of mathematics. So for me, it's just awesome. So please come and study these things with us. Okay, so this is about my journey. And your journey starts now. So I hope you get a great job. I hope you have a great career. And most importantly, I hope that you get to change the world. And not just change it for the better. Thank you.